Hey, you guys, it's Miss Yas from Margaret Scott. Woo! And I'm here to talk about my next job field. So, this job field is called Trades and Transportation. It's kind of strange. And honestly, I think that these two should be separated, but it's okay. We're going to talk about it anyways. So, I'm pretty sure you know what transportation means. Buses, planes, trains, even biking or cars, limos, trucks, transportation. All of these things are umbrellaed under that term, right? Umbrella, meaning all these things are literally being held underneath them. And in this case, transportation refers to people who know how to drive, but also like pilot as well. Okay? They're masters in that particular skill. So, people who drive limos for celebrities or presidents, those people work in transportation. But also, people who drive big pickup trucks who move materials and supplies from one place to another, they're also transportation. So, keep that in mind. Transportation's pretty cool. One of the coolest jobs in transportation would be something like a helicopter pilot. You know, how do you get a job like that? Well, it's actually a trade. Schools that specify in teaching one particular kind of job. So, a helicopter pilot goes to a helicopter school in which they learn how to maneuver and manage the helicopter to fly people up into the air and back down again. Similar to planes, you have to go to flight school. And in flight school, you learn how to fly the big planes that carry hundreds of people from one city to another city over mountains and rivers and oceans and land. And then there's the people who drive the private planes. It's just another kind of pilot. It's another job and a smaller plane. But every plane is slightly different, and that's why you have to go to school to learn about them. Right? Right. Now, there are some other things that kind of go into this trades and transportation's umbrella, but those things are kind of like what I consider to be government, and it's different. So, people who fly helicopters for the army or the military, same thing. They did have to go to school, but they also went to school under like government armed forces facilities. So, kind of separate, sometimes involving guns, but that's what it is. Transportation and trade. Now, I use trade pretty loosely, right? And that's just it in terms of transportation. But trade can also be a whole lot of other things too, like cosmetology, which is the study of hair and nails. Essentially, it's those magical sparkles that you put so much time into, and you know, so like a hairdresser, for instance, they went to cosmetology school to learn how to cut hair. Believe me, it's not as easy as it looks. I would know after years of trying to understand my hair that I just can't do it on my own. I need somebody else to look at it. So, hairdresser. Same can be said about your eyebrows or your nails. There are nail artisans, also called nail technicians, who know how to take care of your nails. And sometimes they're even there to help you in health too. They're like, man, I think you might have some sort of infection and you should go get this looked at. They would know. A hairdresser would be able to tell how strong or how weak your hair is just by looking at it and feeling it. Pretty freaking crazy if you ask me. So that's also considered a trade. Same with other things like security or film. Film is considered a trade. And sometimes theater can be considered a trade as well. So people who are electricians, for instance, they plug in cords here and there. People who know how to fix things like plumbers, that's a trade. All those things are trades. Welders, people who know how to build things and that's all they do, like car technicians, that's a trade school. You can learn all of that at a very particular school made to do it. Most popular trade schools is probably things like the culinary arts, also known as food and learning how to make it, right? So, chefs, line chefs, sous chefs, bakers, all of them went to a school that is made for cooking, and that's where they learned. Pretty awesome, huh? My activity this time is if you could have a license in anything, what would it be and why? Well, that's what I got for you today. If you have any questions, just drop it in the question box on the page. Woo woo! And I will see you in the next video. Bye bye.